Hi, everybody. Well, tonight we are in a beautiful snowy country setting with gorgeous cardinals because I am going to be working with the cardinal seasons set today. Yay! And I love cardinals because cardinals were my grandmother's favorite bird, and I was her favorite, and she was my favorite. So I've kind of taken on her love of cardinals. So anyway, that's where we are tonight. So welcome everybody. Again, oh my gosh, I love seeing everybody's comments and everything that's out there. I was waving. I had Forrest Gump waving hello to everybody. Hopefully you saw that. That was on the Facebook group. And we saw some new names out here too that we haven't seen before. So welcome anybody who's here for the first time. Yeah, so it's gotten a little bit chilly here in Michigan, so I've got long sleeves on. And because I'm working with the Christmas card, I thought let's go full on snow. Actually, a friend of mine, actually he's one of our illustrators actually, and he lives in Utah. And he was telling me how a few days, I don't know, like less than a week ago, it was like 100 and what did he say? It was like 106 degrees. And then a few days after that, it was down to like 92. And then the very next morning, it was 32 degrees and it snowed. And I thought, oh my gosh. Now I thought Michigan had crazy weather, but that's pretty crazy. So anyway, it's been a couple of days, so I hope you guys had a really, really nice Wednesday. And today's Thursday, right? Oh, and before I forget, Alan's going to remind me later on too. We've got our trade show next week. So we're not going to be able to do these next week, but we will be back the following week. So I will miss everybody, but we will be busy doing a virtual trade show. And since I can't actually be in two places at once, I'm not going to be able to be here. But I'll be here, but I won't be doing this. So anyway, all right, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the other camera, and we'll get started. Wasn't that cool? Was that fun? Alan found a new setting for me to play with. So, so it just kind of goes off to the side. I think it's kind of cool. It's like somebody's pushing me or dragging me out of the way. All right, so what are we working with tonight? I had said, or I posted, we're going to work with this. Again, is one of my absolute favorites. I love this. Now, this is one of our pedal pusher sets. And if you're not familiar with what a pedal pusher set is, pedal pushers, there's a lot of solid stamping that goes on with our pedal pushers, which is super, super easy and fun stamping and layering and building up gorgeous scenes. But then we have the coordinating dies, and the dies, the pedal pusher dies, and you'll see this when I show you the card or the pieces. The pedal pusher dies will cut out, some of the dies will cut out certain pieces so that they pop up and away from the card. It's not going to just be like layering up with foam. It's going to actually pop parts of it up, like some of the leaves or petals and things like that. So we're going to be working with cardinal seasons. I got this in here weird, but anyway. And then we're pairing that with the Christmas Cottage paper pack. This was our new paper pack last year, and it's been a huge favorite. We actually don't have a lot of these left. I think we just restocked these again, didn't we? We ran out again, and then we sell out of this constantly. Yeah. But we did. I think we just restocked it. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous paper pack. Excuse me. And then I've got the garden wreath, and I haven't played with this in our lives until tonight. So this is going to be fun to show you how this works. And then this is the reverse scallop die set. So those of you that purchased our stencil and die kits off of HSN, you have this. I love this, and I'm going to be using the largest die in this, which is the outer die. It's an A2. It cuts an A2 like card topper, and it has some really, really sweet, simple stitching on it. So we're going to be working with that. And then the last piece that we're going to be pulling into this is the Stitch Circle, one of my favorite add-ons. If you don't have, we have this one as well as a Stitch Square. It's a really inexpensive die set. They're incredibly versatile, and to me, it's just kind of like having milk in the refrigerator. You just kind of have to have it. So, okay. Unless you're dairy free. I mean, I actually have almond milk in my refrigerator. But anyway, let's get started. So let me remind everybody, we always do a giveaway at the end. You do need to be, you really do need to be here so that when I announce your name, you see it. But I can only announce your name if we know you're here. And the only way that we know you're here is if you leave a comment. So please, we love comments. We love when everybody is chit-chatting and asking questions. And feel free to ask anything other than something that is based in religion or politics, because we don't do either of those here. We're here to have fun. So I'm going to show you kind of, let me move this stuff aside. I don't want to give away the whole kit and caboodle. I want to show you, first of all, what this die does. Where is it? Because I love this die. This is a 2-die set, and it's very, very versatile. I have it stuck in here. There we go. So I want to show you this because it's incredibly versatile. You can, I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can use it. Let's get these off of here. I know that's noisy. Sorry about that. So it comes with 2 dies. If I cut with just this die, this is what I'm going to get. A beautiful, beautiful kind of a leafy wreath frame, which I think is absolutely stunning. And we show you on the back of this a card sample that you can do with that. Really clean and simple and easy to do. And it's just gorgeous. I will say this too, because this is a big die, it has a lot of cuts to it. I typically will run this through a couple of times on through my die cutting machine. And when I do it, when I run it through, I'll run it through once like this, and then I will take it and I will turn it and run it through again. And I turn it because there's rollers on those die cutting machines. So you could end up with some flat spots that aren't going to cut some of your dies very well, especially if there's a lot of detail in them, which this has. And so by turning it like a quarter turn, the rollers are going to hit the blade in a different place, and it's going to just pop all this right out for you. So this is what you get when you die cut with just the one. Now, if I want to die cut with, again, just the one in a different way, this one I put in the center, so I'm creating a window. And this is something I can use if I kind of accordion fold that like so. I can use that on the inside of an A2 card, just like this. Adhere that down. And then that creates a beautiful little window where I can have a spinner card. And that's one of the intentions with this die, is so that you can create very, very easy and fun spinner cards. And then you just hang your little image there and wind it up, and it's just going to kind of go, round and round and round. So that is a second use for it. And then if I use these both together, let's see how this goes. It's always fun trying to line them up again. Yada, 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 yada. Sometimes it takes a moment. There we go. You know what? I think I ended up having to turn it all the way around, and I'd just gone to the right instead. It probably would have been fine. Anyway, this is what you're going to get if you cut with both of them together. So I would lay these on top of my paper, blade side down. I would tape them into place and cut it through the cardstock, and you're going to get a gorgeous wreath just like this. So I cut 2 of them actually for our purpose tonight. That's how I decided to use it. And I cut 2 of them because I want to have a little bit of a shadow. So when I lay the one down, I mean, it looks very beautiful. But when I put one on top of the other and slightly offset it just a little bit, look at that beautiful shadow that it does. So gorgeous. Instant dimension. Terry is asking, is there going to be anything new on HSN? Our next HSN show is going to be in October. It's a Christmas show, and we have a lot of Christmas and kind of everyday kind of things on there. So our next show is going to be in October. When is the new release? The new release, we're actually doing our trade show next week. I'm going to tell you, we've got 40, you know what, I'm going to switch this really quickly. back so I can tell you guys. There we go. We've got the trade show next week. We've actually got 43 new products in our next collection, and we're looking at releasing it. And I'm a little tentative on the release date only because we're waiting for a few things to get here yet. But I think we're going to be releasing it the 3rd week of September. It'll be the last week of September at the very latest. But right now I'm targeting the 3rd week of September. We'll be announcing everything to you guys, so stay tuned. So that's only a couple weeks away, and it's cool. We got a lot of stuff in it. Okay, we're going to switch back again. Okay, so this is where we're heading. All right. I want to show you. Oh, you know what, Alan? I forgot to grab something. Over there, I've got paper. No, pay attention to, honey, you got to look at me so you can follow my hand when I point. Right there, the paper packs, yeah, in the middle. Grab one of the white ones in the middle. The white in the middle, yeah. Is it A2? Perfect, excellent. Sorry, everybody. It's funny when I'm asking him to, when I'm trying to show him, like, to point to where I need him to go, and he's not even looking at me. He just starts grabbing at things over on the desk, and I'm like, no, look at me. Okay, this is what we're going to create. I want to show you how to do this. And you see how the little wing pops up? And this little wing pops up? That's because I use the pedal pusher dies. And I'm going to show you how to do that because it's really easy and fun to do. Andrea is saying, what would you consider the most essential piece or pieces we should have in our equipment? Ooh, that's a really good one. I would say a really good paper trimmer, a really good stamp positioner. And I have several different ones. I have Misties that I use. I love Misties. I got to tell you, I did not think that I would use this little mini Misty very much, but it's always my go-to. So because I do a lot of small stamping. So I would say a mini Misty is an absolute must. A really good paper trimmer with a really, really good blade on it is, and then whatever your favorite coloring medium is. Here's another recommendation for you, because I know a lot of people use like those cutter bee scissors, and I've had them and I just can't deal with it. So these are my favorite. These are Fiskars, and you guys have seen me use these a lot. And so I was asked to carry them in the store, which they're in the store. You can see mine are mine are very, very well loved, but I love them because I can slide this open to unlock it. It works like this. So it gives me a lot of control. I'm not sliding my fingers through those holes and then trying to cut. That is just so uncomfortable. And I have a little bit of arthritis in my hands. So anything with that kind of motion doesn't work for me. These are so easy because I can use my entire hand. And it's a very short blade on it. So I can fussy cut if I need to, and I don't like to fussy cut. So I will use those. Okay, so we're going to get started with this. I want to show you how this works. All righty.
Oh,
what
size is the wreath?
Oh, that's a good question. What size is the wreath?
4 inches based on your mat.
Yeah, it is. The wreath ends up being, let me measure this out. I'm not sure. The wreath ends up being about 4 1/4. Just under 4 1/4. So when I put this on, and it is wider in some directions than others, like if I go like this, it's going to be 4 1/4. All right. But if I position it just so, there's certain things that are a little bit wider than others, it's going to be a little bit less than 4 1/4. So it fits beautifully on the front of an A2 card. And if you position it right, you'll still have a little bit of a border. And you're going to see me do that tonight. So let's go ahead. I've got several stamps in here that I'm going to work with. Let me put this on the white. I'm going to use this one here of the cardinals. That's going to be my first layer. Oh, and let me show you. Here we go. On the back of this, we show you how you layer them up. So I'm going to grab the first stamp with the cardinals, and that's going to be my lightest color, and we show you a light color. The next stamp that I'm going to layer is going to be the darker color. Then we're going to grab, excuse me, these two stamps here, and we're going to do that in the deepest, darkest color. I'm going to use black, and we're going to end up with these cardinals right here. And so we show you how you can layer up the flowers and some leaves and so on and so forth to get some different looks. All right, so first I'm going to grab the one cardinal, and because these are clear stamps, you can see right through them. Go ahead and close this, pick that up, lay this back down. Now I'm only going to be using 3 colors. Got my hybrid inks. The first red is going to be Kiss Me Red, which is a real, true, beautiful red. I'm not a fan of orangey reds, so you're not going to see me using an orangey red. So that's going to be Kiss Me Red. And then Scarlet Rose is the perfect complement, the next shade up from that. I've got a little dry throat, I'm so sorry. And then our Raven hybrid ink. So we're going to start off with the Kiss Me Red. Look at how gorgeous that color is. Oh, and I'm actually stamping on Nina Classic Crest Solar White, 110-pound cover weight. That's what I use for my, whenever I'm going to work with my Copics. And you see how it looks a little bit muddled? A lot of that will fill in as it dries. But just to save some time here, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it one more time. Solid stamping, a lot of the time, especially if you have a big surface like that, you may have to stamp more than once. See how pretty that is? I love it. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean this off a bit. I am going to use my stamp cleaner because I want to get a lot of that red off of there. The hybrid ink is going to stain the stamp just a little bit, but I want to get any extra residue off there that I can. And I use my Extreme Clean to get that off of there. So that is color number 1. I'm going to go ahead and put this away. And I am a stickler about putting things away. You know, these stamps are, they're a little sticky. And I don't want to get fuzz and stuff all over them. Linda's saying, do you use the Misty Corners? And do you think that's a useful investment? You know, I'm not, I do know what it is, and I'm not familiar with them enough to even respond to that, to be honest with you. I just don't know. I've never used them. So I don't have an opinion on it. I'm sorry. I would give you, I mean, I will always tell you my honest opinion of products, but that one I just don't know. All right, so I'm just paying attention to where I've got my second stamp. So this is the one that has the little bits, and I'm going to do it a little bit darker, and I can see right through it, and I can see where it's going to line up. I couldn't put my head in the way of the camera. Normally I'd put my head right over the top, so I'm hoping I got it right because I'm looking at it at an angle. Go ahead and make sure everything's in position. Now I'm using the Scarlet Rose, which is the darker red. And this is going to give some dimension to these cardinals. Look how pretty. They're so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, they're so gorgeous. I'm going to go one more time just to darken up that red a little bit more. There we go. Look at that. Oy, oy, oy. And we're so careful. So we leave some of the brighter red in there so that you can see it. It's just so pretty. It adds a lot of dimension. That's just 2 colors. I love solid stamping. The results that you can achieve with solid stamping, I just think it's amazing. It's fast, it's easy, and it's just gorgeous. If the stamps are designed right, if they're designed really well, and these are, I mean, you're just going to get gorgeous results. So let's see. Next up, we've got two other pieces. We have this one right here, which is the little face. And then we're going to have that little scarf there. So this is the face. And if this one can be a little bit confusing when you use it for the very first time, you want to look at how it's going to be positioned. So that's the little face right there. And when you look at this stamp, now I've already stamped it, and sometimes, like, here's another little tip. When you get your stamp, it's going to be clear, and if you can't really see what it is very well, ink it up. Put some black on it, and it's going to show you, you'll be able to look through it and then see the color, and that sometimes it makes it a little bit more obvious. So I can see the nose right here of this little guy right here, and I can see where the eye is for the other one. Oy vey, I wish I could put my head over that. I'm not sure if I have it where it needs to be. So, well, here we go. I'm going to take a deep breath and hope I got it right, because I can't put my head right over it. I'm going to put my head in the camera. Everybody's probably going, just put your head in the camera. Stop talking about it. Just do it. All right, we'll see. If I got it wrong, it's only because I couldn't put my head in the camera. Ah, look at gorgeous, perfect. I'm going to do it one more time so it's really, really rich. Look at that. We even leave a little bit of the white for the reflection in the eye. Gorgeous. Using my cleaner, getting the excess off of there. It's not going to make my stamp clear again because it's a hybrid ink, which means it does have some permanent qualities to it. But it gets that extra residue off of it so that if I want to stamp with a different color, I can. And then the last one that I need is for that little scarf, and that's right here. So let me grab that. I'm going to get that lined up because I can see right through it. Let's see where the white is. Let me move this back here a little bit because I'm having trouble seeing. I think that's right. Ooh, I think it is. We shall see. Yay, almost perfect. I'm off just a tiny, tiny little bit, but I don't think it's even going to be noticeable. So sweet. There we go, got that cleaned up. Put that little scarf away. Now we have the scarf in white because it allows you to add whatever color you want to the scarf. And so I pulled this pattern paper right here from the Christmas Cottage. It's this one right here. Let me show you. I don't know if I have another one in here because I use this one. Look at these papers. Oh my goodness gracious, they're so gorgeous. I love this wood. Let me see if I have that. This is what it looked like. This is the full paper. And I wanted to have that little bit of a scene because I have this bird, and I wanted the birds, I wanted it to look like they were in kind of some flowers. So I grabbed this one and I trimmed it down. I wanted this section of it here, right here. Let me show you these papers because just seeing the cover is really not doing it justice. Look at that. They're so beautiful. I love these. I absolutely love these. They're just stunning. Look at this one, is all these cardinals. I think I have pajamas that look like that.
I think you do. At least one pair.
So, oh, and that's just so pretty. So, okay. I love this paper pack. You know, we don't usually keep restocking paper packs over and over and over, but this one, I mean, everybody just seems to love this one. and we go through it pretty quickly. So, all right. So the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to color this in. So there's this blue, that was the whole point of this. There's this beautiful kind of country blue, and I'm going to put that in his scarf. So I've got two colors here. I've got let's put these down here. B91, these are Copics. You can use whatever your favorite markers are. So I purposely stamped this on my Neenah Classic Crest paper because that's what I use when I'm coloring with Copics, alcohol markers. I like to start light with my light color, and let's just add some of this in here a little bit, and then I will go dark with it in shadow. And I'm literally just putting a teeny tiny little bit of color in there. I'm going to go up over some of that red because I got red in the wrong place. And then I'm going to go back in with my light color and just fill in those white areas. I should have separated my colors a little bit better. I think I got two colors that are a little too close together in their number because I'm not getting the shadow that I wanted so much. But that's basically it. I think that looks really pretty. And I'm going to do it on this one too. Actually, yeah, I'll do it on this one too, just because I don't know which one I'm going to end up using. Put my color in there. I'm just doing the whole thing really quickly. All solid blue, and then I'll shadow. There we go. There we go. Very simple, just about a minute to get those colored up. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab 3 of the dies in here. I'm going to have Alan do some die cutting for me. Can you get me from the Big Shot? And that's another tool. Have a really good die cutting machine. I love working with the Gemini, and I love working with the Big Shot. But right now I'm going to have you grab the plates off of the Big Shot, Alan. Jen is saying, how many new sets are going to be on HSN Crafty Day? Ooh, I don't know right now. Okay.
This time or next?
I don't know. I think we have 4 kits coming up in October.
4 in October, yeah.
Yeah, I think we have 4 kits in October. Yes, you're going to run this through, but let me get it set up first. Okay, so now this is going to be for my Big Shot, and I always have, this is a magnetic plate. I always use that. And I always have my blades pointing down when I'm cutting with this. Now, I've got 3 different dies here. These 2 are for wings, and this is for the silhouette of the birds. So we're going to run this through twice. I'm going to first do the silhouette of the birds. My purple tape. Now, you will notice that the outside white line that surrounds the images in the pedal pusher sets, that white outline is a little bit wider. We purposely left it wider on the pedal pusher sets in areas where we're going to be cutting and popping things up, because if we kept it too narrow and then we cut through to pop up some of the petals and things, they would tear right off because it would be too thin and it would just kind of crumble. So we did intentionally leave a little bit of extra white space in some of the areas. So Alan's going to run that through for me really quickly through the Big Shot. He's my die cutting guy. There we go. So here we go. Now I'm going to pop this out of here and just set that aside for right now. And so now I have this area, you can see around the wing here, I've got more white. And around this wing here, I have more white. And it's going to be because we're going to pop those up, but then it's still a thinner white line everywhere else. That is intentional. I don't want you to think that there's something wrong with your dies or your stamps. So I have this wing here, and I'm going to line this up just like so. Let me see something here. Okay. And then the second one, this little teeny tiny wing. This purple tape from ThermoWeb is awesome. It's not going to pull up on my paper at all. So he's going to run that one through. And then you're going to see how we're going to be able to lift these up just like this. There we go. Let's remove that. There's one. Now I don't just rip it off because I don't want to rip it. I don't want to rip the, I mean, you could potentially rip it, and I don't want that to happen. So I just remove it carefully. And now you can see that I can pop up this wing on the larger cardinal. I'm going to curl that just a little bit. And then you can see that I can pop up the smaller one, the little wing on the smaller bird too. And look at that. It's like they're flying. How cute is that? It's instant dimension on your card. And so you can see why we had to leave that extra little bit of white, because that gives like it gives strength to the entire piece so that we don't end up having it fall apart. It also gives you something that you can glue down to your card. Okay, so that is those. And then next, it's really kind of, well, it's not assembly just yet. So let's set those aside. We're done with those. The next thing that I decided to do, I used, let me think. I have an A2 card base. A2 is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's just a half sheet of letter size paper. Using the largest die in the reverse scallop rectangle from the HSN set, I cut this beautiful card topper, so we have that stitching, and that is A2, and that fits right over the top. All right, so my card bases, just so you know, you can see that's just kind of flimsy. I don't use a heavy card base or a heavy cardstock for that because I generally will layer things over. So I've got a heavier card topper. And then I have this one. And this is where my little circle came in. And so I decided to use from the Stitch Circle the largest die. And I determined where I wanted it to be. First of all, this piece here is about 3/8 of an inch smaller. I first cut it to A2, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I cut 3/8 of an inch off of the length and the width. So it fits beautifully within that stitching. And then I went ahead, lined these up, taped them together with my my purple tape, and I placed this die down, taped that on, and ran that through my die cutting machine. And this is what I ended up with. I'm not going to go through all those steps. This is what I ended up with. All right, just like so. So it comes out, it looks like this. And then I wanted to have the same circle cut on the front of my card. So then I opened up my card and I used this one as my template. I lined it up just like so with the card. I laid the circle down because I have my circle here. I laid that right over. Tape that on. Make sure that card is open because you only want it to die cut through the one side of your card base. Run it through your die cutting machine. And then when you pull that out of your die cutting machine, this is what you end up with. So the magic of television. You end up with this. All right, so that's how you make sure that you have all three of these layers the same, with the same circle in the right place. Okay? So let's go ahead and start layering some of this up now. I've got my handy dandy tape glider, and I'm going to go ahead and get my tape. Let me get that a little closer to the edge there. All around here. I want to get this near my little circle too. Sorry about it. I know the camera is blurring because I have the tape gun so close to it. It doesn't autofocus. Now here comes the scary part. This is where I have to line everything up just right. Let's go like this. Open that up. Technically, if I lay this right on the edge, it should work. There you go. Perfect. And this one is going to be the tricky one. There we go. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put it on here. I could pop this up on foam if I wanted. I think that would be really pretty, but because I'm already going to have dimension with the other elements, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to leave that closed so I can see, make sure everything is centered exactly as I want it to be. Going to make sure everything is straight. I think that's it. Again, I can't get over the top of it with my head, so I can't really see. There we go. That looks so pretty. Alrighty. So before I go any further, I always forget my sentiments. So I'm remembering sentiment. I want to put this Happy Holidays sentiment in there. Carmen is saying, are you making a subscription box? Yes, we are. And I'm hoping we're going to be announcing it at the end of October. We will see. It all depends on how shipping schedules. You know, shipping is slow everywhere. Shipping is also slow with you know, with the products. So let's do this. I'm going to think about how this is going to be laid out. Let me just use one of these right now. This is what I'm thinking of doing. We're going to see how it's going to pan out. So I want to see where the best position is. I think it works if I center it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm not going to do this in this one because I have too many, it's all layered up too many times. So let me do something here. Put that up there. I'm going to put this in, this is the regular size Misty. And this will allow me to open the card up. Turn it in the right direction. Put my magnet down. Make sure this is right in that corner. Oh, I have to have it closed, don't I? Ah, okay. That's not going to work. You know, see, this is what you go through. I have to have it closed because I want to stamp on the inside of the card. No, it'll be okay. I'm just going to test. I think I have a piece of, see, I shim. It's okay, Ellen. I shim. I wish they had made this mat a little bit thicker, the one that comes with the Misty. because I shim it, I put like a couple of really thin pieces of cardstock underneath it to lift it up just a little bit more, and it helps me get a better stamped image. So I'm going to take those shims out right now because I have a couple of pieces, you know, with my card here. So that's a little tip, I guess, that you could use if you're really having to push hard on your stamps to get them to stamp. Put a little shim, no matter if you're using a MISTI or any other stamping tool. You can always shim it. Is that gonna make it down there? Alan, will you do me a favor? Will you give me my Tim Holtz stamping tool over there? Because those magnets are a little bit thinner. No, it's okay. There we go. These magnets are a little bit thinner, and I think it's gonna, yeah, that's better. I just have so many layers built up with this card, so it's good to have a couple of layers with your magnets too. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stamp this with the Raven. Do we have any more questions? Is everybody really quiet tonight?
Nobody's yelling at me that I didn't see their question.
Oh, I'm hoping this isn't too high. It doesn't look like the word holiday is hitting very well. I might have too many layers. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna get rid of this. Let's see how we do. Oh, please cross your fingers for me that that's in the right spot. I like having my magnets. There, that's much better. I think the magnets were too high. Let's make sure that's right. There we go. Gorgeous. Okay. Where's my stamp cleaner? All right, just get the excess ink off of there. I thought it was cute on Tuesday. I always go back and I watch the video afterwards because I like to see everybody's comments. And by the way, I used to comment back on them, but Facebook isn't letting me hit reply anymore. So that's kind of a bummer. But anyway, I thought it was kind of cute. Somebody asked Alan if I am really as, what was the word?
I don't know, clean and neat.
Neat and clean or organized or something as I appear. Yes, that is a little bit of a, I don't know, Alan might call it an issue. I don't know. But yeah, I am. I'm very weird about that kind of stuff. I have had to relax a bit, but anyway. All right, so I want to get these lined up before it goes on the card. Let me see how it goes. It's going to go like this. I want to see which way this is going to be on here. I actually think that way is going to be really nice. Let me see if I can get the angle right. Oh, I like that better, I think. So we're going to go with it in this direction, but that means that I'm going to change the way I have it layered a bit. Because I want it just to be offset in a certain direction, and I think that works nicely. Okay, so with that, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to see if this works. Oh, please work. I'm just going to apply some of this adhesive right over. This one is like little dots, so it's really easy to use. And I only want it to go down. There we go. That's going to work nicely. I just want it to be very light. Oops, I'm tearing the paper a bit. Oopsie. There we go. And then any extras that are coming through there, you can just kind of brush them away. That looks so pretty. I'm going to go ahead and put that flat on there. And I think I'm going to go back to that same tool here. Let me flip this in this direction so I make sure I get it in the direction I want it to be. Let me put some of this down. And so I'm doing this in like some of the heavier areas. Like where the cardstock is a little bit thicker. Ooh, and I'm tearing it. It's sticking. That's okay. There we go. That's crafting. Now it's stuck to me. Put this right down here. I have that centered nicely. Oh, how pretty. And then, gotta have foam, right? I have to have foam. I'm gonna pop this little guy up on some foam. Turn this over. This is all I have left, guys. That's it. I'll be starting a new one soon. I'm going to do little pieces. You want to be careful you don't get it on the wings that you want to be popped up. And let me cut that down a tiny little bit. I'm actually going to take back what I just said about not putting it on the wings that you want to be popped up, because I'm going to show you a little something here. I'm going to put it on the wing up here at the top behind it. I may even double up on it. We'll see how it goes. Tiny little bit right here. Don't want it, I only want it a little bit on that wing. Oops, tape came off. So when I lay this down on here, I can pop that up because I haven't taped it down. But I think I'm going to put a little bit more behind it, like double that a tiny bit, and see how we do with it, because I want that to stay up. Now, if you're going to put this in an envelope, you may not want to do what I'm about to do. But if you're just going to give this card to somebody, then I think it would be fine. I'm going to use the foam to hold that up a little bit, to hold that bit of the wing up. Actually, I'm going to cut this one in half. And this may not work. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to remove it. And put this one down over it. If that doesn't work, then I'll just, like I said, I'll just remove that other layer. Never tried this, so we'll see how it happens. There we go. That's going to hold that up because I doubled it up. It's not going to let it go down. That works. I like that. So I just doubled it right at the top behind the wing, where the wing is connected to the bird, to the body. Now, like I said, you may not want to do that. If you're going to put this in an envelope and send it, I would just go with the one layer of foam. Because if that wing pops up too high, it's going to get bent and stuff. But I think it's totally fine if you're not going to put it into an envelope. Oh, look how gorgeous that is. It is so pretty. I need one more behind the head of my large cardinal. Oh no, I don't want to put it there. Ooh, let me think. I don't want to put it there. Let me get that off of there. What was I thinking? I may want to, I wasn't considering the back of my card. So I may want to just cut another cardinal and put like black behind that. But I could do that later. I don't have to do that now. So this is where we are right now. Yeah, I always forget when I'm doing a window that I have to remember what it's going to look like on the other side. Okay, let's see. Couple of little things that I wanted to put in here also. And I remembered my little tool this time. I wanted to put like some little berries on this wreath. Lisa's saying, can you use the outside and the inside dies in the same run, or do you need to cut them separately? When it comes to this bird, see, some of them you're going to have to cut separately, and some of them you can cut together. You're going to have to lay them in and see if they line up. When it comes to the dies, die design, we have to have so much space for the manufacturer to they require so much space, so much of an edge between the dies and stuff like that. So and in order to minimize the amount of space that we have, the amount of white space there, you're not going to be able to fit this wing close enough in there like a puzzle piece like that. There's going to be too much space in between, I believe. So I think you might have to cut these separately. First cut like I did, like this, possibly. Let me see if it'll lay in there. I think it was just off by a little bit, and I think they overlapped. So no, I think with some of them you might be able to, but others you cannot. It's going to depend on the design or on the die. Now, I will tell you, with this one, with this wreath, you can run these together at the exact same time. So these you can cut just in one swoop, nesting them together. But when it comes to some of these little characters and things, we wanted to minimize that white space as much as we possibly could. So it wasn't necessarily about the ease of, how many times you can run it through the machine. It was more about making sure that the image looked right when it was done. You're asking me if we're on HSN tomorrow? Yeah. We do not have, no, we're not on HSN tomorrow. So I've got some little sequins here. Oh boy, I'm going to regret that. And I have my little tweezers that I didn't have last time. I love these little tweezers. And I'm going to kind of figure out where I want to place these little guys, because I think that they will be pretty. Okay, there we go. I like to use the tweezers with these better than just my bare fingers, because I end up getting them stuck on my hands all the time. I think that's pretty. This one may need to go out a little bit further. There we go. And I typically will place them before, so I know where I'm going to put them. And I like 3 like that. I think that works really nicely. Adds a little bit of bling. I might even put, let me get that one. Is that the one I want? It's going to stick to me. I think I'm going to put one down here too. Just like that. I think that's really pretty. I realize it's 4, but we still have the 3 and the little triangle up there, and I like that a lot. So let's get this. Ooh, it just flew. Let's get this little bit of glue down here. Come on. Teeny tiny little bit. Get that string. I don't want that string of glue to fall on a card. Oh, and I can't get this one back up again. Ah! Get it with my tweezers. Oh, for goodness sakes. See, this is why I don't work with. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. That one off of there. I used to have like one of those little tacky tools that was like sticky on the outside, and you could just, you know, just stick it on like that and lift it up. But the problem with that for me was I couldn't get the thing back off of it very well. There we go. That's how it's supposed to work, just like that. Tiny, tiny little bit of a clear adhesive, a clear glue. There we go. Oh, and then this one. Come on. There we go. Oh, whoa, that was a little much. Let's see how we do. It's good that it's clear. There. And I think that is it. I'll get this stuff cleaned up later. Oh, I think that's so pretty. I think that's very festive. I like that a lot. I never know how it's going to come out when I'm planning it, but I think it turned out really nice. I think we're a little bit early, maybe. Let's see.
56, 57.
There we go. Oh, my hair. Oh boy, I think this turned out really pretty. I really like it a lot. I'm going to lift this up and you're going to see right through the wreath because I have the green screen on. Isn't that weird? I always think it's so cool when you look at that kind of stuff. Anyway, alrighty. Yay. You know, I'm always so thrilled. I feel kind of, I have like mixed feelings when we get to the end of the video because we get to the end and I know it's over for the night and it kind of bums me out because I enjoy doing it and I enjoy, you know, being here with you guys. But then at the same time, I love it when the project comes together and I get to see that it actually worked out very much like, hopefully, like what I saw in my head. So it's just a relief, I'll tell you. Okay, so we're going to do a giveaway. And I think we're going to give away, this is what we're going to give away. We're going to give away one of these garden wreath dies because it's a really, really great die, very versatile. And you can use this not just at Christmas time, but you can use this for, it's for all season or all year long for, you know, all different holidays and seasons and everything. So I think it's really, really fun. So we're going to give away this garden wreath die. And the winner is Lee McMinn. Lee McMinn. Yay! Congratulations, Lee! You have won yourself a garden wreath die set. It's a 2-die set. So all I need from you, Lee, is if you can send an email to customerservice@ldrscreative.com, and I need your name, of course. And we're going to need your complete shipping address so that we can get your die out to you. Yay! And then you can start making your cards. And it's perfect time, too, because you get to start making, you can, oh my goodness, you know what? I should do Halloween. It'd be so cute to do a Halloween wreath with that. So just in time for a whole bunch of holidays, you know, just for a fall wreath, for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, Christmas, or just a winter wreath. So you're going to have a lot of fun with that. So yay! Congratulations. Alrighty, excuse me. Little reminder, we're not going to be here next week, so I'm really going to miss you guys. We're going to have our trade show next week, but we're going to resume. It'll be a week from Tuesday. We'll start back up again, and right here at 7 o'clock. It's the 22nd, so September 22nd is when we will be back, and maybe we might be announcing the new collection then. That week.
The people are good.
So that'll be fun if we get to do that. So join us then on September 22nd, 7 p.m. right here, Facebook, YouTube. And until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week and weekend. And I hope you guys have a wonderful next week as well. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care, and we will see you guys soon.